What's up, guys, and welcome to another edition of the Wrestling Pulse. Alongside my partner Ryan, I am J-Man. In this edition of the Pulse, we give you guys our WWE Hell in a Cell 2015 preview coming this Sunday on the WWE Network. Jam fucking packed week for us and for me specifically. This is my wedding week. I get married this Saturday. Ryan is in it. Eric is in it. Quad is in it. Just crazy how much time just flew fucking by in this prep period and everything going on. Everything has gone smoothly, stress-free. Got everything situated and we are good to go. I have the rehearsal tomorrow. Rehearsal dinner following at a local pizza joint up here, which is fucking awesome. Can't wait for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah, so the next time you'll be seeing me, I will be a newly wedded man. Don't know if we're gonna end up doing a review for this. I know Ryan is gonna come out with his girlfriend Caitlin, which we were very excited about. So maybe if we do a video, we'll have to peek her in there. I'm sure she'll be scared as shit. We'll throw her in there, just feed her to the fire. Why not? We're already doing that by bringing her down to the basement for a pay-per-view. But yeah, don't know.
Pulse Dungeon?
Pulse Dungeon. What the fuck am I talking about? We don't live in basements. We live in dungeons. Yeah, so I don't know if we're going to end up doing the review. If it is, it's going to be super fucking quick on Sunday. Because we, my fiance and I, soon-to-be wife, that's awesome to say, leave for a honeymoon at like 4 o'clock to get to the airport on Monday morning. So if it's anything, it's going to be very fucking quick. If we do get it out to you, we're going to try to do that. I know we're extremely long-winded at times, so we'll try to kind of calm that one down and tone it down a bit if we end up doing that. But so very busy lately, obviously, for all of the Pulse boys. But yeah, we're here to give you our preview because that's how we fucking roll. Yeah, this pay-per-view. As I said a couple months ago or so, this is kind of where it starts the lull period for WWE. Where they kind of throw some different shit at you. They start setting up things, going towards the end of the year and then the beginning of the year, and then it starts the WrestleMania time period. Another thing we need to mention, which hopefully we'll be able to get the tickets for, we're all gung-ho for it, we will be hopefully attending WrestleMania this coming year in Dallas, Texas. More than likely, I can go out and say it'll probably be the highest attended WrestleMania in history. I'm just going to go out and say it now.
100,000.
I think it's going to top the Silver Dome for WrestleMania 3. I think Dallas is going to do that, and we cannot fucking wait to be a part of that history if that does end up going down. But for right now, we should be on track to be attending that WrestleMania next year.
I was gonna say we might document our road trip.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do some day in the life ofs. That'll be fucking awesome. It'll probably end up being me and my wife then, and Ryan and his girlfriend Caitlin. So that's going to be fucking awesome. We cannot wait for that next year. Tickets go on sale, I believe, November 6th. So we will give you an update around that time period, if whatever the next video will end up being, if we do end up getting tickets for that. But yeah, so we should be attending. We should be down there in Lone Star State getting us from Texas, old fucking southern Texas, which will be my second WrestleMania attended in Texas after me and Roberto attended WrestleMania 25 in Houston. So yeah, really look forward to that. Hopefully we can get some good tickets to that, and we'll be attending next year WrestleMania. Yeah, so anyway, like I was saying, this is usually a lull period, and they start getting things ready for, Survivor Series, and then towards the beginning of the year with Rumble and stuff like that. So you kind of have a lull period. Football's in high gear, obviously, over a quarter of the way through the season and everything going on now. So you have all that. You got hockey just starting up. You got the World Series coming up with, baseball, basketball just starting up. So there's so much fucking shit going on this time period. WWE, you kind of just lose focus for a little bit there until the lull, until usually around Survivor Series or so. But this is usually where that kind of gets there. With that being said, there are some, intriguing matchups here and some high-profile matchups. So we're going to go ahead and get this kicked off here. We have the pre-show starting out, which got switched up because of a supposed Randy Orton injury that just came out of the blue, and Luke Harper disappearing, and then Eric Rowan coming back for who fucking knows why. We have a 6-man tag match with Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville going up against Rusev, Sheamus, and King Barrett. We've seen a lot of this shit going on as of late with all of these guys. Ziggler doing shit with Rusev, Cesaro just kind of being thrown in here and there. Neville and fucking King Barrett having 7,000 fucking matches this year. It went the heels route. I think a week or so ago on SmackDown, or the case maybe. The faces will get the win here. I'm going to go with Ziggler, Cesaro, and Neville in your stock pre-show match.
Yeah. Just kind of a thrown together six guys who aren't doing much of anything now. I'd be completely surprised if they try to continue anything with Ziggler and Rusev now, with the whole storyline being super fucked in that situation. Yeah. Those of you know anything about what's going on with that, because back in the 90s or the 80s, you wouldn't have known if a guy was married to a girl because the internet wasn't a thing. It wasn't, the dirt sheets weren't that big of a deal. Now the day of when Lana is engaged to Rusev, it's all over TMZ. Oh, cool, let's continue a storyline and try to insult the fans' intelligence. No, they knew. The fans know what's happening, and they can't really do that. So they come out and try to screw the whole angle up with Summer Rae and switch stuff up and have Summer Rae go Ziggler and on SmackDown. I mean, it just, who cares?
Right, and they one big thing, not to cut you off, but one big thing they always want to talk about being like the reality era and being where people know kind of the inside shit, and they make the stuff that, the dirt sheets and stuff known to the public and stuff like that. Such a shitty way of utilizing that. Like, if you want to go a reality route, that's fine. You can do that, but the way you execute it is horrible. Like, it's just so shitty.
There's storylines that could have been created like that.
Oh, I just saw this on Saturday, now you're married. And everybody's like, what? Like, yeah, we knew that Lana and Rusev were together, in real life and shit, and then they do. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was talking to him a while back about, people knowing stuff because of the internet and knowing things, right when they happen now. WWE should use that to their advantage, create a storyline outside of wrestling and where the fans know about it, because it'll be all over the dirt sheet, something big, and then they bring it to real life on the show because people like that shit. It's gossip. It's it'll draw fans in. I think that would be a good storyline, but has nothing to do with this match. Of course, it just has some participants. But Sheamus, holding the Money in the Bank, doing nothing. King Barrett doing nothing. Cesaro floating around. Neville doing nothing. These guys are all just kind of floating around. Ziggler and Rusev are the only ones doing anything in a feud. But I got the faces, I guess, should win here.
Yep, first match on the official show. We have a rematch up here from, I believe, Night of Champions. We have the Intercontinental title on line when champion Kevin Owens goes up against Ryback. Nothing really happening here. I mean, honestly, it's just kind of your continuation. And they're really storyline-wise, there's nothing else further build to it, no progress to it. It's just a stock rematch. Kevin Owens is going to retain here. Pretty impressive, actually, to see him pop up powerbomb fucking Mark Henry. That was actually a pretty cool little spot, and showing them he could get in there with some bigger guys and actually, pull that fucking move off. But yeah, nothing really fucking going on here. Ryback, hopefully should be pushed on the card and give up start to give us some new challengers. Throw Cesaro in there with, a Kevin Owens, throw Dolph Ziggler in there, throw Neville in there. There's so much fresh fucking shit they could do outside of Ryback. I know that it's a guy they want to fucking push, but just every fucking time they try it, and then it just dies off and never fucking works. But I'm definitely going with Kevin Owens retaining here, and what will probably end up being exactly what the matchup was at Night of Champions.
Yeah, I don't care about this match. I don't really care for it to be in the card. I could care less. I think Kevin Owens is going to win. I don't care. I just don't care about this match. I just feel like it's just these guys don't have any chemistry, and no matter what Kevin Owens does, it's just literally you're just not going to pull a good match out of Ryback, and the storyline is just not good.
Yep. Next matchup, we have the Divas title on the line when champion Charlotte goes up against former champion Nikki Bella. Really, these two ladies haven't even been the vocal point of what's been going on with the Divas division. It's been a lot of stuff with Paige, and then throwing Natalya in there, and Paige breaking off from PCB and trying to get back in with PCB, and
I don't know,
showing more boobage lately.
That's not bad.
Natalya just being there. And
it almost feels like they
the champion.
Wanted to. They did it on purpose for two reasons. One, to split Paige off and kind of be a heel and kind of move around, and for the fact being that all this stuff is happening, and then nothing's happening with Natalya. So maybe they just wanted to bring her in because she can get in there and have some great matchups.
Yeah, they start something and then it just floats off into abyss and it's just there. And they never do anything with it. They just kind of go. And it's just like, well, you pulled that off, and then you did nothing to explain it, nothing to do anything with it. You ever go back on doing it and want to be back with everybody. And it's just like, no one is going to give a shit about a fucking storyline and an angle that you're doing, and then you don't even know what you're doing with it. So why should anyone give two shits? It's involved with, a great asset to the division in Paige. I think it's somebody who needs to be focused on, and I think it's somebody who is great at being heel. But this shit they're doing, and then throwing Natalya in there, I have no problem with Natalya being in there and working matches. That's great. Especially if once a Kana comes up to the main roster, not a Nia Jax. Holy God, fucking
we haven't had to say anything about
Jesus.
that. They made her seem so much better in her little promo things. For the love of God.
Gosh, she is just a fucking 10-pound sack of potatoes in a 5-pound fucking bag. Did you get all that?
Yeah.
Did you digest that?
At first you were like 10-pound bag of potatoes. I was
I fucked it up. 10 pounds of potatoes.
In a 5
pound
there we go.
Because that's what it was.
We're not making fun of her size. We're making fun of her outfit that she clearly shouldn't be wearing.
And the build to being super badass and not even living up to anything.
If you came out and just were badass and like just destroyed ass and just looked like super impressive and beastly, like Awesome
and she
Kong,
looks like a model for like Lane Bryant.
Yeah.
She looks like a catalog Lane Bryant model.
Yeah.
And like part Havoc. Like I see Havoc there.
Yeah.
Too.
I was thinking when she came out, I was like, okay, she looks like this. She looks ridiculous. She's got to get in there and move around like Kong or something. I thought maybe looking at her, okay, maybe she's Girl Umaga. Nope. Giant tree. First match she's ever wrestled. She got trained in the NXT dojo or whatever the hell.
Rock's like, hey, I got a cousin who's wrestling now. They're like, fuck yeah, let's do that shit. Can't be bad, Roman Reigns.
Right.
So,
Reigns.
that works.
Not everyone's got it, Not everyone.
It doesn't matter what the bloodstream is and the bloodlines. Sometimes it just doesn't work. And this is something that doesn't work. Completely off topic, but Charlotte and Nikki, obviously, as we're talking about here, completely off topic. Not really the topic of what's been going on with the
we
Divas.
don't do topic videos too much anymore, so it's kind of good to just get
it all out in a preview and just shove a whole bunch of shit into a 5-pound bag. 10 pounds of information in a 5-pound pulse bag.
Trying to put a Braun Strowman in a plastic grocery bag. Braun
Strowman. Robert loves that. He loves to say Braun Strowman now. He does it in all videos. Everyone. Braun Strowman. I'm gonna go with Charlotte retaining here. Obviously, gonna roll with her for a bit. Kind of see where it goes. They have to stop these fucking 3-team shit. They have to get fucking Tamina and goddamn Naomi away from Sasha goddamn Banks and start using Sasha Banks where she should be, because if anybody has deserved to have a fucking spot in that division, high up in that fucking division, it's Sasha Banks, and what she's doing right now is fucking terrible compared to what she should be doing. Start utilizing Becky Lynch more. I mean, there's so much fucking talent. I mean, that they are just not utilizing. Once Nikki kind of takes a sidestep, I don't think she'll go too far, but I think you need to start moving up these things and get rid of these fucking teams. Get rid of this 3-team shit. I don't want to see any more. Nobody gives a shit. It's so stale. It's so fucking tired. Just stop it.
Yeah, even with the girls on Raw when they have the singles matches, even with the new girls having matches, they are just not good.
They're so bad.
It's not even the environment of NXT. You can girls can go in there and have a good match. It's proved the NXT crowd is the same exact crowd you had for SummerSlam.
Yep.
A lot of the same people probably came for that. You just have to put over a good match. Like, you can't just it's so shoved to the back burners, and just bring all these girls up and just have them still have 4-minute matches.
So hopefully we could get get out of this what the start of their match was at Night of Champions, where Nikki worked the leg and did everything, and then it had that terrible finish that didn't pay off any of the working of the leg in the first place. So hopefully we'd have the start of it, and then the climax to what it should be, and the culmination of what it should be. But I'm definitely going with Charlotte retaining the Divas title.
Yeah, they got to get Nikki Bella out of here. It'd be one thing if, it's kind of apropos to say, it's just like, God, just the chick John Cena. The difference between her and John Cena is John Cena finally was able to to carve out his own niche and his own style of wrestling. And now he gets in there and he has, every match he has is good. And you're looking forward to John Cena wrestling, You used to be looking forward to John Cena character and his whole thing years ago. Now you look forward to, he's going to get in there with a guy and he's going to have the best match on the show usually. Like, that's just how it is. With Nikki Bella, she's been there for a long time and she's been the champion. She hasn't progressed to me to say anything as being deserving of carrying the title and actually having good matches, because I can tell you right now, I can't remember one Nikki Bella match that's ever been memorable. Like,
yeah, they've all been just
blur
of just mediocrity.
Yeah, they're all just. Ugh. So I mean, Charlotte could come in here and they could do some good stuff, but until you have these NXT girls facing each other on pay-per-views who've had this connection, chemistry, you get rid of these girls that are just kind of the model types and they're just kind of there for whatever. Could see some great stuff, but I'm gonna go with Charlotte here, I guess. There's no reason for Nikki Bella to win here.
Right.
I see.
Next up, don't know how the positioning on this on the card will probably go. It might end up being the first match because they like to kind of do bookshelf them. With the Hell in a Cell matchup between Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns. I am really looking forward to this. I think these are two hungry guys that are in a position to go out there and make a statement. Yeah. They're out there to prove themselves. This is a lot along the lines of what last year was with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell, which ended up main eventing, but had the whole shenanigans with Bray Wyatt and the Sister Abigail Tupac thing or whatever the fuck ended up happening with that. The hologram or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like.
Has it been a year? Has Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt been feuding for a year?
Well, that was when he started the feud with Dean Ambrose.
Oh, Dean Ambrose.
Yeah,
I was confused. Okay,
Ambrose, yeah. It's pretty damn close. It was right after WrestleMania. But yeah, I like when they do this with the utilization of Hell in a Cell. I know it's been, fucking watered down and oversaturated and just so much, or so many Hell in a Cell matches. But what the right thing they do, the last couple of years now is they're throwing these young guys in there and giving them the opportunity inside this historic match, inside this historic gimmick, to go out there and put what is a pretty decent feud. I mean, it's not the best of fucking feuds, but it is pretty decent. And let them go in there and blow it off inside of Hell in a Cell. I like that they do that and do that with the young guys. Bray Wyatt is perfect inside of Hell in a Cell. He's a perfect kind of guy to be in, and I think this is his first Hell in a Cell match. Am I mistaken? Was there one with like the Shield and the Wyatt? I don't think they ever did one with the Shield and the Wyatts, did they?
Wasn't Bray Wyatt in a Hell in a Cell match against Dean Ambrose? No, maybe.
No, that was Rollins,
Okay.
and I think this might be his first. And if I'm mistaken, I don't think they put the Shield and the Wyatts inside a cell before. I don't think they did. I might be mistaken, but from top of my knowledge, I think that's top of my knowledge. From my knowledge, I think this is the first Bray Wyatt cell, and I think it is the first for Roman Reigns as well. So I like I said, giving the young guys the opportunity to go in there inside Hell in a Cell and kind of see what this feud can deliver inside of there. I like that. I think it should be some good work. Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt both work a pretty stiff style. They go out there. It's the hard strikes. It's the the fast-paced kind of stuff that they pull off. Obviously, Reigns and the high spots that he pulls off. The 4 or 5 that he has. Yeah. And Bray Wyatt playing off of that. I think will be great. And a Bray Wyatt inside that atmosphere will be great. Obviously, like we were saying earlier with the reintroduction of Eric Rowan, randomly as fuck on Raw this past Monday, just having to be out there with Braun Strowman and no Luke Harper, which Luke Harper was supposed to be in the pre-show with Braun Strowman against Randy Orton. And
you heard about the possibility of why he wasn't there, right?
Possibility why Luke Harper wasn't there?
Yes.
I have not heard that.
They're saying it's personal reasons, but this kayfabe picture got out. Kayfabe? It was like these custom-made Luke Harper t-shirts, and it was him and like 10 WWE guys backstage, and they were all like posing with his shirts on, and it was like Jericho and like Primo and Epico and like without masks, and it was like Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, and they were all just like hanging on each other like bros, and they were all like, and because it was like they're feuding,
yeah, right,
and it was like they were like flipping the camera off and stuff, and like this picture blew up all over the internet.
Really?
And they're saying that possibly the backlash of it is Luke Harper getting not really suspended, but taken off TV for a while, which is silly.
Yeah, because it can't go on Reigns and it can't go on Wyatt.
And I guess it makes sense too, because if Randy's not, he's kind of been there, back and forth.
So they're kind of just taking that match off of the whole. Could end up being that way. No matter what, you could obviously get some interaction with the Wyatts. With Strowman and Rowan possibly in this matchup, something going along the lines here. But I look for this to be a good one, and I look for this one to deliver. Their matches, just regular straight-up matches, have been pretty solid. So I think throwing them in here in the Hell in a Cell, they could blow this feud off. I think it'll be some good stuff. This Bray Wyatt is just made to be in these matches with these super over fucking face guys, and the face always gets over in these fucking matches, and it has to be by super shenanigan ways that Bray Wyatt would have to get over in these matches, and it sucks because Bray Wyatt should be the guy that they fucking push forward and build around. because we've said it time and time again how much we love Bray Wyatt, his character, and what it brings to modern day professional wrestling, and how it has just. It is the tip of the fucking iceberg is what we could possibly be seeing with Bray Wyatt, because there's so much more that he could give us. And just what they do it's really unfortunate, because it's not what we want, and it's not as much as we want, because there's so much fucking more that Bray Wyatt could do. But yeah, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns in this matchup, getting the win. I look for him to be a guy that obviously is going to be a vocal point coming towards the end of the year and the beginning of next year, going towards WrestleMania. So he's going to get that solid win in this feud and in this matchup, and going into the future in a further push. Who knows if he ends up going to do something with Rollins down the road, coming up soon. But no matter what, I'm looking forward to this one. This is probably the most excited I've been for a Roman Reigns match maybe ever. I wouldn't say I was excited for the Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania. I was just say I was more excited to see a cash-in, which is obviously what they got, and I think it was a shirtless celebration on that WrestleMania preview. Review, not preview. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think it's a the best thing they did was that because obviously you give Roman Reigns a microphone and you have him talk for 5 minutes. We saw that was a fucking failure. But if you have him go out there and just be the hard ass and say fucking 4 words, Hell in a Cell, and drop the microphone, and then do a stare off of Bray Wyatt, that worked perfectly. So I think that was the best thing as far as the build towards this. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns getting the win the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this too. It's stuff like this. I feel like there's feuds that kind of just linger, and they don't have a big blow off, a big payoff to the finish. And you could have done something like this if the feud was deep enough with Ziggler and Rusev, but it didn't work that way. It didn't play out that way because of obviously other stuff. But as long as this feud's been going on, you've had those matches, the 3-on-3s and then the 1-on-1 and then this and that, and all the stuff they've done over the last several months. The proper way to finish this would be in a Hell in a Cell, and I'm thinking to myself, does it deserve that over the title match? And yeah, it does. Absolutely. I don't think Kane versus Seth Rollins needs to be in a Hell in a Cell. It's a focal point on Raw, but this match is a feud, and I feel like he says, back, in the day, way back, in the 90s and early 2000s when a Hell in a Cell happened, it was a big payoff to a major feud. And these guys have been feuding for a long time, so to me it makes the most sense for this to take place in a Hell in a Cell. And I am definitely looking forward to this. I think this could be really good in the sense of a car crash, obviously. Yeah. Like I said, the same thing as him. I'm looking forward to it. Just, the most I've looked forward to a Roman Reigns match probably since the Lesnar match. I was looking forward to that because I knew it was going to be a wreck. Yeah. And it was. It was a good wreck. I really enjoyed it. But this one is going to be good. I think it's going to be good. And I think it could be a good stepping stone for Roman Reigns to maybe get a bump from here to a main event level, and then Bray Wyatt will float around and probably face some different guys. But I think this more than anything is the Roman Reigns jump, the bump up, because the rumors and the jump around of Cena being gone for several months after this pay-per-view, or Raw or whatever he's going to leave after. They say someone's got to step up and be a locker room leader. We'd hope it's not Roman Reigns. We'd hope it'd be Seth Rollins because he's the champion, but you know how WWE likes to do things. So, I see Roman Reigns winning here, and I think it's a good, clean win here for him and kind of bump him up. And I'm not gonna be upset with it. I think I finally accepted the fact that this is one of the guys that they want to be up there, and they can't, obviously, like you said, they can't let him sit in the ring for 10 minutes and cut a promo, and dear God, it's awful. He needs to play that mysterious, hard-ass Batman character where he's just fucking hanging out in the crowd, and he just points to him and just says, I'm getting you, I'm coming for you.
Goldberg never said anything.
He needs to not say anything.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs to be that ominous, hard-ass Sting guy that's just hanging out, and just, I don't know. His character's just completely flipped from where it should be. So Roman Reigns, I think, is going to get the wins here, but we'll see.
Next up, we have the WWE Tag Titles on the line. Win champions, our boys. The New Day goes up against the Dudley Boys. We can't say it enough. The best part of WWE television, the New Day. You ever
think you were going to say that?
Fucking period. I come off as like somebody who just jumped on the bandwagon, but they really. It's just a unanimous thing where as soon as SummerSlam hit, they just turned it up to fucking 11, And the outrageousness and the fucking ridiculousness and the fucking hilarity and the sarcastic just comedy, and the randomness of just, oh god, they're just so fucking random, and just some of the references they throw out just have to go flying over people's heads, and we're sitting here laughing our asses off to everything that they fucking do, because we know what they're doing, and the little things that we catch on to, because that's what we do. We throw little random shit out, and we laugh our asses off at it. We're probably most of you out there are like, what the fuck?
It's hilarious because the New Day is literally if we
were pro wrestlers,
that's how our characters
gimmick.
Be. Yeah, that's how we would act.
We would have a trombone. We would play it super shitty, and we would not care. We would give no fucks, and we would play the shit out of that trombone just because it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And they're just good at everything that they do. They're just Xavier Woods is just entertainment personified. He literally is just he has so much fucking energy. He's so fucking smart in the way he executes and delivers his promos, portrays his character. He's just so fucking good. Big E has gotten so fucking hilarious and is just gyrating and dancing around like a fucking... His eyes just bulge out his fucking head, and he just gyrates while he's doing sidewalk slams and shit. And Kofi, obviously, the great athlete, and still fucking showing his, comedic side and stuff that we've never seen from Kofi before, ever. So just the combination of all of them is Jason Jordan, but is also fucking hilarious. It's just great. I mean, everything that they do, we laugh our asses off. We're thoroughly entertained, and our eyes are glued, and ears are glued to whatever they have to say or whatever they have to do, because they're just pure fucking entertainment, and that is everything you could possibly say about the New Day. And they've been doing a lot. They've been getting over hard too. I remember we were talking about the couple weeks ago. That Raw a couple weeks ago was fucking awesome, where they dominated. They did not just do the comedic thing. They literally took motherfuckers out. They took the Dudley Boys out. They took Dolph Ziggler out, and they took John Cena out, and ended Raw on top, tromboning out the fucking door. Awesome. That was just great to see them get them over on the main event level. And on that stage was great to see. And they've been doing it week after week. I mean, they've been getting that over. Outstanding. The crowd's been getting it over. They've been getting reactions one way or another. People are starting to fall in love with them, obviously, with how fucking hilarious they are, but still getting great heel heat, too. I mean, they're just doing everything right. And you just have to keep that train rolling. I mean, I see no end in sight for the New Day because of how great they are and how well they pull this fucking off, because it is outstanding. The Dudleys, playing up at, exactly. This is literally like an Attitude Era angle. It's like the New Age Outlaws versus the Dudleys, but just in a new form of New Age Outlaws with the New Day, and in much better fashion as far as the comedy angle of it, and what they can play up, obviously, but at the same type of stuff you'd see back in the Attitude Era, with obviously the Dudleys, which were huge factors in a lot of these type of feuds back then. So I think they play off it perfectly well. They could be the badasses that end all the hilarity that the New Day are doing and put fuckers through tables and shit. So they just play off it very well, and I've enjoyed this feud, and the New Day have completely made it. As for a winner, I see a time where the Dudleys just get a fucking title shot. They've been talking about it time and time again, where they'll be going for the 10-time titles and stuff like that. I don't know if it's here. They keep having the rematches. They had the match at the Brooklyn show, which is pretty much stock what we've seen before. They had the match at Night of Champions, and we've just seen it time and time again. I just think one of these times they're just going to end up pulling the trigger with the Dudleys and have them go with it. The New Day, as I've said before, I think they just work better with titles because they could just shove it in people's faces, tell them how they're better than everybody else, tell them how they're the best. I think that's great. There's some heels that don't need it, and there's some heels that do need it, and I think the New Day is a team that needs it. Because they just work well with it and they can shove it in people's faces. I think it just works well for the gimmick. I would hope the New Day retain here, but it's going to happen eventually where the Dudleys end up getting the title shot. But I hope for a New Day win, and I hope for a quality matchup here too.
Yeah, exactly what he said, about New Day. And another thing, we don't mention is the Dudleys is obviously coming in looking in good form as well. They obviously haven't been on the microphone and cut very many promos, and that's kind of surprising to me because I haven't really seen much mic work from them, and much kind of like, I'd expect, Bubba to be, shitting on people and talking trash. Maybe I'm just kind of like my vision of Bully Ray for the last several years. How I just feel like he's going to cut a hard-ass promo.
Well, and another thing, what I was going to say, too, is they don't do a lot on Raw, but they do actually cut a lot of promos on SmackDown. They cut a lot of backstage promos. They do a lot of stuff with Renee, but they do it on SmackDown. They don't do it on Raw for some reason.
Yeah.
But he does kind of come off like Bully Ray hard sometimes.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to see, and kind of just come off like a hard ass. And to me, it just seems like a New Day is just always one-upping them when it comes to talking, and it just kind of is very interesting to me. But the matches have been okay, and they've been fun. Obviously the entertainment factor is there, and that's what we want to see. But I just don't see them just New Day losing here. They're just so red hot right now. It's just they're on fire. And it would be a shame for them to lose the titles right here because they just need to run with it, man. They just got to run through all these teams because we enjoy the humor and the entertainment factor, and they're hilarious. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, you got to wrestle. You got to wrestle matches, and you got to these guys can work well together. But eventually, these guys got to get in there and just instead of goofing the whole time, they got to kick ass and have some good matches too. So I feel like getting in there with some of these newer teams, the Lucha Dragons and such, and all these other guys that are coming up, it could be some great matches coming up here with these guys, and definitely with the characters that they portray. So I'm going to say the New Day retain here. I don't see why they would lose.
Next up, we got the U.S. Title Open Challenge with champion John Cena. I was intrigued to see if they would actually set a matchup before they set up the pre-show. I thought they might go with Ziggler again and just have Ziggler and Cena again with how great their matchup was on Raw, which was outstanding and really had you believing that Dolph Ziggler was going to win the United States Championship on that Raw match. I thought they would just pull the trigger with that. Cena kind of wasn't just kind of floating around here or there and just pull off a great match and just have that be on the card. I thought would be a great idea. They still can do it, obviously. I think that would be totally fine for them to do that.
Double duty.
Another idea I thought of was have,
Isn't that's a main, that's not pre-show anymore.
Is it? I thought that was pre-show.
I thought it's main card now since that tag match got taken out.
I thought it replaced the tag match because it wasn't going to even be on the show. I thought that replaced the Orton because the Orton and Ambrose's match with the Wyatts were going to be on pre-show.
Oh, that was a pre-show match?
That was going to be pre-show.
Oh, well then
that replaced the pre-show. Another idea I thought if New Day retains, just have Xavier Woods just beat John Cena for United States title. Just have New Day have all the goddamn titles. Have New Day help them and then take out John Cena, and there's your time off for John Cena.
What about Ambrose?
Ambrose would be another one we were talking about earlier today.
Breeze.
Tyler Breeze is another name that was talked about. I just why? Fucking being brought up to the main roster just blows my mind. There's a lot of ways they could go about it. An NXT guy, another one besides a Breeze, coming up to the main roster. This is a perfect opportunity for a Samoa Joe, but I know it's not going to be that.
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn coming back from an injury. Obviously,
it's funny because they keep doing these kind of surprise opponents, and they're never
anything
who we would want.
Jericho.
Jericho was cool,
but then we were kind of like, we love Jericho, but it's still kind of one of those like, we kind of wanted something more.
I'd like to see it be Joe. I'd like to see it be somebody.
Me, that'd be my dream. My dream would be Joe here.
I'm scared because I've read multiple times that. Some guys who are in NXT are going to just be NXT guys.
Yeah,
they're not going to be the main roster. It scares me.
I read that one of the main ones was Tyler Breeze, so who knows? That could be just.
He was just going to be a main
NXT guy.
Yeah, anything could change.
So anything could change. So there's obviously a lot of stuff up in the air. We could sit here and speculate all fucking night. No matter what, I like this. I like the surprise factor. I think that's great. I love that when you have that as part of a pay-per-view. You kind of have that build. We have that anticipation where we sit down here and Robert spits out 75 fucking names that John Cena's getting to face.
Jimmy Snuka.
It's going to be Jimmy Snuka, boy. I'm telling you, it's Mark Mero. I don't know why did Dusty's voice instead of Mark Mero. That's random as fuck. And the Thallow. That's just like fucking random. Could be Prince Iakea. Who knows?
Oh, God.
Who knows? It's all that fucking old school WCW watching. But yeah, it's fun to have that speculation, have that intrigue as far as what the surprise could be, and whether it's big, whether it's nothing, we'll shit on it or jizz all over it, whatever the case may be.
That's literally this close from the dick to the butthole. From what we may or may not do to it.
We walk that line, ladies and gentlemen. We walk
the gooch. We walk the thin gooch.
We walk that thin gooch line. Right on it, daddy. Right down the line.
Then douche gooch.
Yeah, douche gooch. Douche gooch.
Douche.
Douche gooch. It's the name of our rock band on Rock Band 4.
Douche
gooch. I thought it was man cum. I thought that was our name. With 3 M's and 3 M's on cum.
Yeah.
Man cum? Question mark?
Man cum?
Man cum? Question mark.
Yeah.
It's the name of our band.
I don't know, douche cooch. Or
Douche cooch is pretty good too. Rock and roll hoochie douche cooch.
Douche gooch.
Douche gooch. That is hard to say.
It is hard. Douche
I think
gooch.
we stick with man cum? Question mark. I'm feeling that a little bit more. But no matter what, the speculation for this alone, it adds intrigue to the show. It adds intrigue to the build of everything that's going on. So I like it, and we'll produce a great match because it's John Cena, and that's what we could say in this day and age. Whoever's thrown in there with John Cena, it's going to be great. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of speculation, like Ryan said earlier, of Cena taking some time off. I think it's well deserved, and I think it's needed. I think it's something that can open things up, and it opens doors for a lot of guys. With that huge factor out of the way for a bit, to kind of maneuver your card around and get guys up into positions that sometimes wouldn't, or that otherwise would not have opportunities to be up in those positions. So I think that's something that's needed. You could have, take the rest of the year off, come back around Royal Rumble, whatever the case may be, build something towards WrestleMania. But yeah, this should be some good stuff. Added intrigue with a surprise kind of factor to it. But yeah, I can't wait for this one, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like these open challenges. They're great on Raw. Yeah, they always have usually the best match on Raw, and the best segments on Raw. I don't know. There's so many names, like we said, you could throw in the air. The Smojo, Tyler Breeze, Dolph Ziggler could jump in there, Cesaro again. I mean, it could be anybody. It just scares me that it could be somebody that
right.
You don't really want to see him face. I feel like for these surprises, it shouldn't be somebody on the main roster. It should be someone from NXT. It should be a Joe or a Breeze or something like that. One of those guys.
James Storm.
James Storm, yeah, that'd be weird.
That would be awesome.
It'd be cool just to bring him in and just be like, hey, come in there and just do this, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting because, Daniel Bryan, can Daniel Bryan wrestle? They haven't, there's word.
We haven't even heard a word of him yet.
Yeah, you never
know. I know he's gung-ho about wrestling somewhere, wherever it's at.
He wants to go to Mexico. He wants to wrestle.
He doesn't give a shit, so yeah.
He's ready to take off. Yeah, it's interesting. They always do these, and it should be fun to see because, John Cena always has good matches.
There you go. Next matchup, we have the WWE World title on the line. Champion Seth Rollins going up against Kane. If Demon Kane loses, then Corporate Kane will no longer be the Director of Operations. Yeah, that's where we're at right now for this shit. Obviously, as said time and time again between all of us, obviously, and everybody's realized, they're just basically ripping off the fucking Joseph Park Abyss TNA angle from like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't even know if they know it or not. They probably don't pay attention to that shit either, but they're pulling the same shit off. I just have not been a fan of this. As soon as I saw it, it's just immediate fucking... Just why? And it just all goes back to the nucleus and the fucking genesis. All this starts at Kane being utilized way too goddamn much in 2015 pro wrestling. It's way too fucking much. It shouldn't be anything at fucking all. And let alone he's huge in segments. He's all over the place on every goddamn weekly show. And now he's in world title matches against the best fucking champion we've seen in who fucking knows how long. It's just disappointing with how much talent they have and how much they could utilize so much fucking more than they have and build guys up to fucking spots and push guys up to spots that are so deserving of work their asses off, and you just get Kane every time. It's like he's always the constant. Just chuck Kane in there. Fuck it. It's just such a predictable outcome. Seth Rollins is going to win this match. Kane's not going to be director of fucking who gives a shit and talking to conference call phones anymore. And we'll just have regular Kane. He's been working, think of the Mexico tour they were on. He's been working tag matches with Undertaker. You'll see Kane for his little run here that goes on, just doing the regular Kane shit. It just is what it is. So he doesn't have to go into the ambulance and pull Superman and change clothes and come back out and whatever the fuck. I could give two shits about what they're doing. Honestly, it just annoys me. I just don't care. I just do not care. Just because I know that it's Kane, and just because I know that he should not be utilized as much as he is. And as I say all this, it's nothing against what Kane has done throughout his entire career. It's nothing against what he's done for the business and what how much what am I trying to say? How much he's given and how much he's, been that guy, the company guy that's worked out. And that's probably why he gets opportunities like this. He's been that company guy for fucking 20 years. When he first came in as a fucking dentist. And now, obviously his entire evolution of his fucking career. It's nothing against him. It's just the fact that and I feel in the back of my mind, Kane knows he should not be in these opportunities over younger guys that are working their asses off now and that should get these spots, but they keep throwing them in here and just keep doing that. Hopefully it's the last time we have to fucking see anything like this, but I'm going to go Seth Rollins, obviously retaining the championship in this one, and you will no longer have to see Director of Operations Corporate Kane. You'll just see regular scary Kane.
Regular scary Kane.
Scared me when I was 7.
All right. The smart move here would be to have this be the final send-off for Kane as the corporate and do all that mumbo jumbo. When James Laurinaitis was gone, he was gone. When Mike Adamle was gone, he was gone.
Jeff Harvey. God, he was bad.
He was bad. Adamle original.
Yes.
But the possibility is really there for Kane to win the title.
What?
And it's
no
it's
way.
literally
way.
Literally 50% right now.
What?
It's 50-50 on if Kane and Seth Rollins win.
What was on your shrimp?
Here's the thing, okay? It seems ridiculous.
Because it is.
And it is in this day and age. But, God.
There's no way.
It
no fucking way.
Scares me because I feel like they could just pull this trigger on there. They for some reason, they just love him. They just love Kane, and they just want to. The backstage people just love him and just want to give him. Maybe they just want to give him one more title run. And if it's the so-called lull period, he may win the title and then lose it on Raw the next night. They do that stuff.
I think WWE's on board. I think they're getting on board to possibly having Punk surpass CM Punk's reign. I think they
Rollins?
I think they want to have. I'm not reading that. I just get the vibe that I feel like with what they did with Nikki.
Yeah.
I just get this vibe where they just don't want to have Punk's name there as the longest reigning champion in the last 20 years. I have this vibe where they don't want them to do that.
Yeah, you could be right. I'm going to go with Rollins winning. It literally is like a 5% in my mind. It's like 55-45. Like, I don't know. It just seems so silly, but how they've been doing things.
I mean, they get stupid.
They get stupid.
And then obviously after that, there could be a possibility of a Sheamus cash in if they go the Kane route.
Yeah, we said that last pay-per-view too. Yep. We thought maybe Sting would win.
Even after Rollins retained. I mean, it's fucking horrible. I think Sheamus should fucking lose whenever he cashes in, but...
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to go with Rollins, though, on the win here, and...
He'll try and pull something out of this. I'm sure.
Yeah,
sure
I'd like for this to be, if he wins, we've said it every week, or every preview and review, every one. I'd like to see Rollins look strong and not like a giant bitch.
There's no way it happens in this match. There's no way in hell it's
going
to happen in this
not.
match. He couldn't even get over in the build. The one time he got over when he destroyed the corporate Kane, because they have to say the differences, because we're stupid. They have to say it, and he was out there destroying him with the chair and shit, and they hobbled to the back into that ambulance, and then he changed and then just came out and destroyed him. And I'm just like, you had it there, you did a good job, you just had Rollins beat the shit out of him. Yeah. He had to use a chair, sure, that's fine, but you had him beat the shit out of him, and you had him walk away, and then he had to come back and destroy him.
You know what's going to happen is, because he's going to play this heel role well, he looks like a giant bitch the whole time. As soon as he turns face, he's going to be a mega badass.
That's what I'm waiting for, and that's what I told him a long time ago. I was like, once we get this fucking Rollins face run, man, I tell you. Because Punk was sort of booked like that. I mean, Edge was obviously booked like that. That's the one thing we go back to, but he was never really heavily booked face-wise. He had his world title runs here and there, but his always great title runs were when he was heel. But Punk was the one that was for sure. We had his, great heel run, but he was dominant through his heel run and dominant through his face run because he flip-flopped in the middle of the run. But yeah, dude, once that comes around, that is, and can't even fucking mention the fucking segment where I jizz shit my fucking pants, with fucking Rollins and fucking Shawn. Holy shit, was that fucking awesome. And just, doing a little rolling the back and forth of the crowd and stuff like that and playing to him and everybody chanting one more match. Holy J-Man jizz if that ever were to fucking go down. Because that literally, I mean, Rollins, that's the second coming. And I know, Rollins doesn't want to be the second coming of anything, but if you were to peg a guy as that, as being another Shawn Michaels, it's Seth Rollins to a fucking T. But he's definitely going to go down as the first Seth Rollins. But if you were to fucking mark down your book as far as, reminiscing as far as how Shawn Michaels was, that's Rollins, especially when he turns face and then he rocks that fucking white and gold, bro, and then you're gonna be on board. Murder freaking goddamn Power Ranger, bro.
Oh man, am I the only person in the entire world that did not like that white?
No,
white
there are people that I think most people didn't like it. Really? I would say. I mean, I prefer the black too, but yeah. I mean, every time he wears it, I'm just gonna wear.
Didn't we agree that if there was maybe some
little black in there,
like
yes,
black in
yes,
it?
I would agree with that too. But anytime he wears that now, I'm just gonna wear my murdered out all white Nike hoodie that I just got every time Seth Rollins wears his murdered out all white fucking fresh. I'm just gonna do that. Seth Rollins is going to retain, Ryan. Get it in your fucking head. Please don't.
I'd love to see
Don't do this 45-55 horse shit or whatever math adds up to 100.
I mean, there's some on here that I'm flat 100%.
Oh, I'm flat 100% on most of it, and that's towards the top.
Yeah.
That is towards the top. Next up, we have our main event is another Hell in a Cell matchup. It's now the third and final chapter. Between The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, obviously the fucking almost 2 years ago now, at WrestleMania 30 with the streak being broken. A year and a half later, having the SummerSlam match this year, which just was a clusterfuck beyond belief, with the finish and overbooking and everything that they did there. Now leading into this Hell in a Cell matchup. Had to build with the whole all-star panel lineup for Raw with Stone Cold starting out and just mumbling off some Texas shit in Dallas and WrestleMania. And here's The Undertaker. And then The Undertaker came out and, set that up with Lesnar and everything and Taker cutting his promo, whatever the case. Maybe with that, setting up Hell in a Cell and everything. This is going to be a fucking another train wreck, obviously, and throwing them in here with Hell in a Cell. This is one of my favorite, as far as history goes, one of my favorite Hell in a Cell matches of all time, which is No Mercy 02 with Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. I love that, the coronation of a Brock
2002.
Lesnar.
That far back, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude, I know, isn't it? That's
13
fucking
years.
Nuts. And that wasn't even the best match on that show. With that,
I'm just thinking like the last time they had a Hell in a Cell match and they just have another one. That's crazy.
I know, dude. That's nuts.
Crazy.
I remember that that was the debut of the WWE tag titles, and they had, was it Edge and Mysterio versus Benoit and Angle?
Oh god,
that was fucking awesome on that No Mercy show.
That was good.
No Mercy, yeah. Just God, those fucking early 2000s, man. I just have a boner for that shit, man. That's my shit. But yeah, I love this match last time. It's going to be completely different than what that match was, obviously. Completely different. Lesnar doesn't work that same style. He's not the pro wrestler anymore. He's going there and just beat the shit out of you, Brock Lesnar. But yeah, I mean, what we're going to get out of this is just who fucking knows, man. Just Taker hopefully not dying again. Lesnar fucking throwing him all fucking around the place, hopefully not killing him. And Taker trying to hold his own in these matches that I just do not think that Undertaker should be having this late in his career. We saw what happened to Sting in a match with Seth Rollins where he literally almost fucking killed himself and paralyzed himself with a fucking buckle bomb, power bomb in the corner. You're risking the opportunity of having a healthy Undertaker at future big shows, such as possibly his last show ever at WrestleMania this coming year. You're risking that with all these matches, and that's something I have not said in a lot of these, with these things. To me, Brock Lesnar is the worst person to have face The Undertaker, in my eyes. I think he's the worst person to have him, because it's just, I've said it time and time again of how important The Undertaker's story has been from his debut, how important his character has been to the company, and how important his character has been to professional wrestling in a whole. I mean, this is our entire lives. This motherfucker debuted a couple months after we were born, and how important he has been for our fucking upbringing into the Attitude Era with all the other great characters that he had with Taker and Austin and Rock and Shawn and Tripp, and the names go on. And how important his character has been, and how it needs the perfect culmination and needs the perfect ending to it. To me, it's been tarnished already by having the streak be broken. And I don't say the streak didn't have to be broken. To me, I would not have had it end. But that's just me. But I just think that Brock Lesnar is the worst person to book in 2015 with The Undertaker. I know it's huge draws, it's the huge names in there, obviously everything that's going on, but the matches to me have not delivered to the point that they need to be booked over and over and over again. The Undertaker needs to be in there, a guy that he's safe to have great matches with and could possibly have good matches with, but does not need to be overpowered by somebody. And obviously, we're not saying that Brock Lesnar is just this loose cannon that just hurts everybody all the fucking time, but there is that potential when Brock Lesnar gets in there, when you're throwing around a 55 fucking damn near 60-year-old man, and you could just end his career in no time, and then the culmination of his entire story and his entire character is fucked all in one fell swoop. And Brock Lesnar gives no shits. And it's just, okay, there you go. Last time we see that. Could possibly be the last time we saw Sting, at Night of Champions with Seth Rollins. And that's just by a little freak little thing. Because he's at the age that he is, shit like that can happen a hell of a lot easier. And it can happen to The Undertaker, too. Yeah. So to me, and how important The Undertaker has been in our fucking lives, and how important his character has been to professional wrestling and in WWE, to me, I don't like him being booked in these matches with Brock Lesnar to protect The Undertaker. That's crazy to fucking say, but it's true. Yeah. I prefer him being in there with somebody else and furthering what we could possibly see. And I don't want to see Undertaker wrestle for fucking 3 more years, but I want to see the end of this character be the way it should. It is in their minds and how they want to book it and however proper way they produce it and end up doing it. That's just one little side thing for me. But to me, I want to see The Undertaker get the win here and get a strong build because it's been really bad. And I can go on and on about how they booked that SummerSlam match with the shenanigan bullshit booking, with the fucking tapping out that they couldn't see and then the low blow and then Lesnar being a super hard ass and not giving up and passing out and now leading to this cell match. I don't know what the hell we're going to get out of it, but I know they want to make both of them look strong, and that's another problem as far as booking both these guys together, because they both don't want them to fucking look bad. And when that comes out the way that it does, then you get shitty shenanigan booking towards the tail end of it, and it's all about just booking the match, and it's not about the outcome of how it comes out. And that's a bad thing, because that's what it's going to be the lasting impression. It's not about how it was booked. It's about what fucking happened in this match. And hopefully they pull it off correctly. I just think the Undertaker needs to win this match to go on, and if he ends up having his last match at WrestleMania or ends up being another WrestleMania, whatever the case may be, he needs to look strong going into that, whatever the case may be. It's in his home state. It's going to be huge. Whatever the match they end up booking, if he ends up going to the Hall of Fame the fucking night before, wherever the case may be, it's going to be fucking big, but he needs to look strong going into that. Brock Lesnar will have no problem building this fucking heat back and building everything back if he loses here, no matter the case may be. I think they needed to do something along the lines of what they did at SummerSlam, where he just did a pass out, flipped him off, and never gave up. It's a perfect way to have Brock Lesnar lose, because he's not losing, he's just passing out because his body gave up. Because not he gave up, but his body did. So I think that's a perfect way to book Brock Lesnar losing. But I think Taker needs to win this, but part of me thinks that they'll just end up going with fucking Brock, because they just tend to book Brock stronger than Taker lately, which is horseshit. But this will be a fun train wreck to watch. Obviously, our eyes will be glued to this to see how they end up going about it. But I'm going to go with Taker getting the win here, and hopefully continue to make him look strong going into the future. And they'll have no problem, building Brock back up after this one. But this should be a fun train wreck to watch. Yeah,
I gotta agree with pretty much everything you said, and my only thing I think is how this match is. I feel like it's gonna be booked. The finish of this, I feel like it won't be clean. I feel like something's gonna happen to where one guy's gonna get over on the other with something sketchy happening. But I think for me, they need to split the fork the road for these guys, and if Taker gets the win here, then you get Lesnar all pissed off and being like, no, I should have won, whatever, and then try to stagnate this feud, continue it. I think this has to be where it ends. You can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
The way I feel like this should end, someone should interfere in this. I think someone should interfere not on the behalf of Undertaker, but on the behalf of.
It's going to be a perfect opportunity to throw Sting in there.
Yeah. To maybe, if Sting's alive, not in a wheelchair right now, wheelchair his ass to the ring.
Wheelchair down from the rafters. Yeah. On top of the cell. He has to go wheel over to the end of the cell and get a forklift to go down.
It's got black and scorpions just painted all over it.
On the wheels.
Yeah. Oh God. But no, I feel like someone's going to get involved here and cause Lesnar the match. And I think that cost Lesnar the match, and spawn off from Lesnar to Lesnar to have another feud, because they are continuing this on. I feel like
who in the right mind want to cost Brock Lesnar a match?
I don't know. Kane. Brock Lesnar did beat up Kane.
Well, who do you think Undertaker's going to face at WrestleMania? Because there was a lot of talk about having to beat Kane.
I think it should be John Cena.
It's the one match that has not happened. That a lot.
I think
of
it should be
want to
John
see.
Cena. I think that's who he should face. I think that makes the most sense with me. To me, I mean, there's
If given the you're going to probably say Cena, but
Kane.
if given the opportunity, if you had a healthy Sting, would you want to see Sting and Taker?
Oh yeah. That's the match that everyone wants to see, and I think that's the one that should happen.
Over John Cena.
Over John, yeah.
I'd be the same way. I would say the same thing. If we have a healthy Sting, just fucking do it. I don't care how shitty it is. Just give us an awesome build.
Yeah.
And pull the match off, have the entrances be badass. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
This is a perfect opportunity if he is healthy to bring him in
to Sting come in
and
here
set
and
that up. That's a long setup, but it deserves it. I mean, it deserves it. You could pull it off.
And what if he goes in there to help Undertaker, and then
cost him on accident?
Cost them the...
Hit him with a bad duck or something. It's true.
Could be, I just feel like maybe this shouldn't be a clean victory.
True.
So, I feel like it has to be... I don't know. Maybe they should give Taker that clean win, but it just... Obviously, we get stuck in that who's getting heat from, who, and who's, this and that. I think the reason they book Lesnar stronger is because the possibility of him being around more is there. He's a healthier, younger guy. They don't want to steal that heat and then have Taker, win a match and then be gone for 5 months. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Well, I'm going to say Undertaker wins here. I think this has to be where he wins somehow. And I don't think it's going to be a sketch finish, but I think it's going to be... He's going to get the clean win or get the clean pin or submission or
whether
tap out.
Before it's clean or not.
He's going to get that, but with someone getting involved and having... I think that could happen. So,
yeah. Should be interesting to see whatever route it goes, and that's always good as far as unpredictable as far as what this outcome will be. But yeah, looking forward to this. Should be interesting. A lot of stuff that could possibly deliver as far as quality goes. With Wyatt and Reigns, and with the Open Challenge, and obviously with the clusterfuck that'll end up being the main event. But it'll be a fun train wreck to watch. And I will be watching as a newly wedded man. Newly wedded man. I feel like I should make a country song.
Gay.
Not marrying a man. Does that make it gay?
It's gay that you're not marrying me.
Oh, that's true.
You fucking dick.
It's gay you're not marrying me, man.
It's not gay.
It's not gay if you put it in your mouth. What, how'd that go?
I don't know.
I've already lost it. The melody was solid. It's rock solid on that.
Drumstick titties.
Drumstick nips. Gonna make them hard, gonna rub them real good, and then I'm gonna cream your panties.
No, drumstick nips. Oh,
Hey! Ladies and gents, I just licked the bottom of a drumstick that he was acting like was his nipples. For Wrestling Pulse, baby.
Sabu. Does he do both?
He did both. Yeah, he did. I don't think he just did
Who's
one.
he pointing to?
Just Jesus.
Oh God.
Just probably the original Sheik.
Iron Sheik. He's still alive though. He's not dead.
Not the Iron Sheik.
Oh, the Sheik.
The Sheik.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is Bill Alfonso?
My dad
alive?
does that. He's probably dead.
Bill Alfonso? Maybe he's doing.
I'm sure Beulah probably offed him about 4 years back.
Ooh, probably.
Did he die from that one match that he had? They probably should have died.
Yeah, they should bring him back.
They should.
He probably has no teeth now.
He should be. God, he should be like the manager of the New Day. Just super hyped up, just jacked. I guess they already have Xavier Woods. They really don't need
New Day, Daddy.
New Day, Daddy. Gonna call right down.
You're gonna call right down. Just blowing the whistle.
Getting excessive now.
Oh God, that'd be hilarious.
Yep. Until you see us next time, gonna be just crazy jam-packed fucking nuts over the next couple days. So, luck is for losers, but wish us all luck, and hopefully everything will go smoothly, which it will. And if it doesn't, it'll just be random and fucking hilarious as all get out, which makes it even better almost. But yeah, if we end up doing the video, it'll be short. We're going to try and hopefully do something. We're going to have to book it the fuck out of here. pretty quickly. I'm sure we say that and it'll end up being a 45-minute video like this one was.
But
But we're
longer
gonna,
than 45
we're gonna
minutes.
hope for not doing that.
assume.
As we like to be long-winded and throw 5 different videos into one video. But yeah, be sure to check that out if we end up doing that Sunday. This will now wrap up our WWE Hell in a Cell 2015 preview. From my main man Ryan, the drumstick champion. I am J-Man, Wrestling Hardcore. Dryer's done. And thank you all for watching another edition of Pro Wrestling Pulse, the Pulse, Professional Wrestling World.